अपने पिर कै रंग रत्ती मुइये शोभावंती नारे, सच्चे शब्द मिल रही मुइये पिर रावे भाई प्यारे। हुक्म श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब, पेज 567-568, अंक 567-568। वडहंस महला तीजा, छंत एक ओंकार सतगुरु प्रसाद। अपने पिर कै रंग रत्ती मुइये शोभावंती नारे, सच्चे शब्द मिल रही मुइये पिर रावे भाई प्यारे। सच्चे भाई प्यारी कंत सवारी, हर हर स्यों ने रचाया, आप गवाया तां पिर पाया गुर कै शब्द समाया। साधन शब्द सुहाई प्रेम कसा ही अंतर प्रीत प्यारी, नानक साधन मेल लई पिरे आपे साचे साय सवारी। वडहंस महला थर्ड, एक ओंकार सतगुरु प्रसाद। In this Shabad, Guruji uses the metaphor of two young brides. One of them is totally imbued with the love of her spouse, is united with him, and is enjoying his company. The other one, although loving her spouse, is tempted by worldly allurements, and is therefore not yet fully united with her spouse in body and spirit. These two brides represent two categories of people: the Guru's followers, who are fully devoted to God and accept His will, and others who, although not totally conceited, are sometimes misled by temptations of worldly riches and power, and therefore they are not fully united with God. Guruji addresses both of these people affectionately and calls them as his beloved friends. First, addressing the united bride, Guruji says, "O my dear bride, imbued with the love of your spouse, God, the honored bride, through the true word of the Guru, you are united with your spouse, God, and are lovingly enjoying the company of your spouse with great affection. The bride soul, who has imbued herself with the love of the eternal God, and who has instilled herself with the love of God, the groom God has embellished her life. When she sheds her conceit, she obtained God, her spouse, within herself, and through the Guru's word, her mind got merged in God. The bride soul, who is enticed by God's love, is embellished through the Guru's word, and within her abides love for God. O Nanak, the groom God has himself united her with him, and the eternal master has embellished her." Para 1. निर्गुणवंतड़िए पिर देख हदूरे राम, गुरमुख जनी राव्या मुइये पिर रव रे हा भरपूरे राम। पिर रव रे हा भरपूरे वेख हजूरे, जुग जुग एको जाता। तन बाली फोली पिर सहज रावै मिलया करम विधाता। जिन हर रस चाख्या सौद सुभाख्या, हर सर रही भरपूरे। नानक कामन सा पिर भावै, सब दे रहे हदूरे। Now Guruji addresses the other bride, who is still being misled by self-conceit or and other weaknesses, but he still addresses her with the same love and affection. He says, "O my dear meritless bride, see your spouse God right in front of you. O dear, the bride souls who have enjoyed his company through the Guru, they have seen that spouse fully pervading everywhere. Seeing him fully pervading right in front of her, the innocent young bride realizes that throughout it is the same God, and then she imperceptibly enjoys his company because she has obtained the company of the architect of her destiny. Such a young and innocent bride, who has tasted the relish of the love of her spouse God, has uttered the beauteous word of the Guru. She always remains immersed in the pool of God's nectar. O Nanak, that bride alone is the beloved of God, who through the word of the Guru always remains in his presence. In other words, who by reflecting on the Guru's word always keeps herself feeling in the presence of God, and that bride alone is the beloved of God." Para 2. ਸੁਹਾਗਨੀ ਜਾਏ ਪੁੱਛੋ ਮੁਈਏ, ਜਿਨੀ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆਪ ਗਵਾਇਆ। ਫਿਰ ਕਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਨ ਪਾਇਓ ਮੁਈਏ, ਜਿਨੀ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆਪ ਨਾ ਗਵਾਇਆ। ਜਿਨੀ ਆਪ ਗਵਾਇਆ ਤਿਨੀ ਫਿਰ ਪਾਇਆ, ਰੰਗ ਸਿਰਲੀਆਂ ਮਾਣੈ। ਸਦਾ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੀ ਸਹਿਜੇ ਮਾਤੀ, ਅੰਦਿਨ ਨਾਮ ਵਖਾਣੈ। ਕਾਮਨੀ ਵਡ ਭਾਗੀ ਅੰਤਰ ਲਿਵ ਲਾਗੀ, ਹਰ ਕਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸੁਭਾਇਆ। ਨਾਨਕ ਕਾਮਨੀ ਸਹਿਜੇ ਰਾਤੀ, ਜਿਨ ਸੱਚ ਸਿਗਾਰ ਬਨਾਇਆ। Continuing his address to the separated bride's soul and trying to impress upon her the importance of shedding her self-conceit, Guruji says, "O my dear bride, go and ask those united brides who have shed their self-conceit from within and have learned to walk in God's will. But they who did not abandon their self-conceit from within have not understood the command of their spouse God. They who have got rid of their self-conceit from within have found their spouse God within themselves, and they have lovingly enjoyed pleasantries of union with their groom God. Such a bride soul always remains imbued and imperceptibly intoxicated with the love of her spouse God, and day and night she meditates on God's name. That bride soul is very fortunate who is attuned to the love of God from within, and to whom the affection of God seems sweet. In short, O Nanak, that bride soul always remains immersed in spiritual bliss and equipoise, who has bedecked herself with the true word of the eternal God. Para 3. हमें मार मुइये तू चल गुर कै भाए, हर वर रावे सदा मुइये, निज घर वासा पाए। निज घर वासा पाए शब्द बजाए, सदा सुहागन नारी। पिर रलिया ला जो बनवाला, अंदन कंत सवारी। हर वर सोहागो मस्तक भागो, सच्चे शब्द सुहाए। नानक कामनी हर रंग राती, जहाँ चलै सतगुरु भाए. Guruji concludes the Shabad by once again advising the ordinary human bride soul to still her ego. He says, "O my dear bride, still your ego and conduct yourself as per the will and advice of the Guru." The bride soul who enshrines the Guru's word in her soul, she obtains a place in the presence of God, and forever she remains a happily wedded bride. The spouse God is enjoyer of pleasantries, has immense youthful energy. The united bride is embellished by him forever. The bride soul who has good destiny inscribed on her forehead obtains the everlasting union with the spouse God, and through the beauteous word of the Guru obtains glory. O Nanak, if the bride soul conducts herself in accordance with the true Guru's desire, she is imbued with the love of God. Para 4-1. The message of this Shabad is that in case we want to enjoy the bliss and love of our eternally young and handsome God, our spouse, then we have to follow the advice of the Guru and be imbued with the love of God like that of a young, innocent and ever-loving bride who is immersed in the love of her spouse. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. SGGS 567-568. Thank you.